Hello everybody and welcome back to another educational episode of our channel. And this time we're going to go through some weird car stats that you probably don't know, that you've never heard of, and that you'll probably never use in real life. But hey, that's what the internet is for, right?
It's free real estate.
For our first one, we're going back in time. Starting from 2019 and 10 years back all the way to 2009, there have been approximately 950 million cars that have been manufactured. Which means that using a mathematical process called extrapolation, or something, I never got a good mark in math, there were at least 3.8 billion tires produced in those 10 years, just for cars coming straight out of the factory. You know what, let's go a little deeper down this rabbit hole. If even 0.027% of those tires find their way to the ocean after they've been discarded, which they probably have, that's over 1 million tires just riding the waves out there somewhere in the good old Pacific. You know, I'm no environmental expert, but that sounds kind of unhealthy. If you were to take a bunch of smart cars and line them up end to end, how many do you think it would take to cover the equator? 100,000? 200,000? 500,000? A million? It would take 14,870,461 smart cars lined up end to end to cover the equator. Approximately. Basically, if every single person in Washington State and Arizona bought a smart car, it could be possible. You know what, I kind of misled you there because it actually wouldn't be possible at all, since there have been only less than 2 million smart cars made ever in the history of the universe. Among all the major car manufacturer names, the letter A is the most commonly used one in the alphabet, making more than 35 appearances, with the letter Q being the least used, with no occurrences whatsoever. I don't think this one surprised anybody, but it's nice to feel verified. American car conglomerate General Motors has owned 9 companies that either no longer exist or have generally ceased their operations.
What you say?
What I'm saying is, don't sell your company to General Motors, because you just might lose it. All these car companies you see listed are owned by or in partnership with another car company at the time. However, every single one of them have had partnerships with at least one or more car companies. A Ford F-250 Super Duty has 32 lug nuts, which is 48% more than your standard passenger vehicle. The NA Miata, everyone's favorite roadster, statistically and by popular choice from Instagram it seems. How many of these bad boys do you think it would take to balance the scale with a blue whale hanging on the other side?
Big whale.
Well, I got the answer. That's why you're watching this video. It's 130. Yeah, that is one heck of a Miata car meet, man. Remember how I said there were almost 1 billion cars made since 2009? Well, if each of those had a tank with just 40 liters of fuel, gasoline or diesel, that means that we've produced at the very least 38 billion liters of fuel. That's the equivalent of 1,270,000 large fuel tankers. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of juice. If you were to take a car that is capable of 200 miles per hour and keep it at that speed, headed straight for the moon, it would take you just under 50 days to get from the Earth to the moon, taking absolutely no breaks. But realistically, you would probably die before you make any significant distance because, you know, oxygen. And for our last one, this is a personal one. My car weighs about the same as your average male hippopotamus. Yeah, that's That's it for today's random facts and stats. That kind of rhymes. It's kind of catchy. Maybe I should use that. That does it for today's facts and stats. Stats and facts. Facts and stats. Stats and facts. Stats and facts. Facts and stats. Which one sounds better? That does it for today's facts and hello. That's it for today's stats and facts. I hope you learned something new that you can talk about at the bar with your friends when you have absolutely nothing left to talk about. And I will see you in the next video. See you later. Goodbye.